Hi everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars. I am a Midwestern Kansas farm girl who was raised by Depression-era parents who were born in 1929 and 1931. They were both born during the Depression, and my dad was born during the largest stock market crash in history. So they taught me so many things about living frugally. I never saw my parents panic. I never saw them worry. They always seemed to be confident and in control of the situation. And so I want to encourage you, with everything we're seeing right now with prices, to kind of adapt to that way of thinking. We can get through this. I think the whole trick to it is to think smarter, not harder. And as I watch families trying to shop with children and having to use credit cards to buy food, it does concern me. So I like to share some of the tips and tricks that I have learned. And right now, there are only 2 of us in our household, but we are trying to maintain, keep stock, keep ahead of the game by shopping smarter, not harder. So let me share some of those tricks with you today and some of those tips. I like to use Dollar Tree and Aldi. I've talked about them before, but I do want to give a warning. We went into Dollar Tree last week, and many of their items have switched prices. They're not all $1.25. Some of the things in the freezer and refrigerated section are now $3 and $5, so really watch for that. And some of the things on the shelves are now $3 and $5. So be very, very cautious when you go in there. You may think you're getting a good deal and then realize you paid $3 or $5 for this item and it wasn't such a good deal. So we really need to be vigilant in looking at those prices. Things are changing fast. Also, the same with Aldi. Many of the things that I was buying for $1.39 are now $1.99. And so I may have been willing to pay $1.39, but I'm not willing to pay $1.99. One of the examples is their pasta sauce was $1.39. Now it's $1.99. I remember when I used to pay $1.99 for Prego, and now an off-brand is $1.99. So that's the changes that we're seeing, and those are pretty significant. That's why it's so important to shop your specials, watch the markdowns, and go to those digital deals or those loss leader items and snatch those up at the different stores like we talked about in the last video. The things I wanted to share with you are ways to get the most for your money. For instance, not everything is packaged equally. If you buy a 2-pound bag of onions, you may be assuming that it's 2 pounds, but they can't get that right on the mark. So some are maybe less than 2 pounds and some are maybe more. You may want to weigh those or just hand feel them to see which ones are heavier. It's the same with apples and oranges. They'll say 3 pounds. Some may be 3.16 pounds. Some may be 2.86. These are things that I never thought about when I had younger children. I thought if it said it was 3 pounds, it was 3 pounds. Realize that they can't get everything right on the mark. So no, some things are weighing more than what they say, and some things are weighing less. I even will count how many apples or oranges are in that bag to see if I have more portion sizes for that bag. So those are some little tips and tricks that I use to make my food go farther. Another one of the things that I look at is if I buy like a 3 package of romaine, it's a 3-pack. So some of those lettuce heads are grown more densely and there's a lot more lettuce in there, and you can squeeze them and feel if they're a really thick, dense head of lettuce or if they're a leafy, hollow feel to them. You can tell by the weight. You can weigh them. You can tell just by lifting them. Some of them weigh more than others. I've been getting my 3-head packs at Aldi. They're now $2.99. They used to be $2.39, but Walmart is still $1 more than that. So really watch those prices. I watch people go into Walmart and just throw things in their cart assuming that they are getting the best deal because it's Walmart. Walmart's become a household word, but everything at Walmart is not cheaper. In fact, a lot of things at Walmart are not cheaper right now. So just keep that in the back of your mind as you are shopping. Another one of the tricks that I look at, and my mom taught me this one, is when I buy a can of vegetables, I shake it. People in the aisle kind of look at me funny, but you can tell if it's more vegetables or more water. You can tell by the feel. Grab one out of your cabinet and shake it. The reason that I do this is Mom bought a can of corn one time and she said there wasn't one kernel of corn in that can. It was all water. And after that, she learned to shake it. And I shared this with some of my viewers, and I had a lady tell me that she bought some boiled peanuts and there wasn't one boiled peanut in the can. I had another lady tell me that she bought apricot halves and there were 3 halves in the entire can. So yes, shake that can. Make sure, like this one, I can tell it's almost all peas and hardly any water just by shaking it. So try that trick next time. It makes a huge difference. You get more for your money. Another thing that we've gone back to is no more baby carrots. They're processed, they're a specialty item. We've gotten past thinking that those are a specialty item. They've become more normal in our day-to-day lives, haven't they? But I've gone back to the old-fashioned packaged carrots. I can get 2 pounds of packaged carrots for what 1 pound of the baby carrots were costing. That's twice for your money. And honestly, my husband and I have discussed this and we feel like the original carrots have better flavor. They're fresher, they haven't been processed, and we were just discussing that last week, how going back to those old-fashioned carrots, how they taste so much better. So think that next time, twice for your money to go back to the old-fashioned long carrot. Many times just going basic and simple is really the trick to trying to be able to keep things stocked in your house and not spend as much money doing it. Basic and simple. When I grew up, our medicine cabinet was very, very, very empty. We only had a few items and that's all we needed. We had methylate, which they don't make anymore. We had camphofenique, which they still do. And we had aspirin and Band-Aids. That's all we had. There wasn't any Neosporin or any of those kinds of things. Just those items, and they got us through. But now when you go to the medicine section, you have tons of choices, tons of aisles of things, but we really don't need all of that on hand all the time for an emergency. Maybe think about going back a little bit more basic. What can you get? Many times if you read the medicine, many of them have the same things in them, but you're paying for that name brand. So look at your ingredients, look at the milligrams of that ingredient and compare them, and you will be able to see that many times you're paying for something like Excedrin when you could buy something else that is the same. Think about that the next time and maybe think about cutting back how many things you keep on hand in your medicine cabinet. Our food budget is $295 a month. And that may sound high to some people or that may sound low, but that includes all of our household items that we need. It includes if I need white vinegar to clean, it includes if I need shampoo, toothpaste, conditioner, toilet paper. Those are basically the things that I buy that are household. And it also includes our cat food, which that ends up being about $50 a month. And I've explained in the prior videos, I believe that I ended up with a bunch of my brother's cats when he went to the nursing home. And that's the reason I'm spending so much for cat food, is they were his pets. I checked with the Humane Society when I ended up with all of these cats, and since I live in a rural area in the country, not in the city limits, no one would help with that situation. So we do still have 8 or 9 of his cats that we feed. They're outdoor and we take care of them, and they're still important to him. So that is included in my budget. So if you take all of that off of there, if you take the cat food off of there, our budget is about $245 a month for food. And I usually do spend all of that packing and storing and prepping and looking for specials so that we are never without food. So think about that in case you end up getting stuck where someone isn't working or something happens where you need to have a little bit of back stock. Not everybody is where they can build up back stock right now, and I understand that, and that's why these shopping pointers are so imperative, that we really watch where our dollars and our pennies are going. One of the many things that I say to myself is I have enough. There's times that you'll feel that panic start to sit in and you'll think you don't have enough. But if you look around, maybe take a day, go through your freezer, go through your refrigerator, go through your cabinets, you'll realize you have plenty. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't have enough to fill your cabinets, check out those coupon codes for those apps that I have listed before in the description box, because that's what helped me get ahead of the game to be able to have food in my cabinet when payday rolled around. They really made a huge difference. If you can even get enough to get $20 back on one of those rewards, that's a tank of gas almost, and that makes a huge difference when you're struggling. I want you to keep positive, stay confident, take action, and trust yourself. We can get through this. It's been done many generations before us, and we can do it again by learning from some of the tips that they have left for us. So I hope to see you in the next video, and thank you very much for watching today.